In today's Disney vlog, we ride the Disneyland Railway. We board at Tomorrowland and ride a full circle on the train, stopping at Main Steet USA, New Orleans Square, Mickey's Tunetown, then finally arriving back at Tomorrowland.
To those who have just come aboard, welcome. The next leg of our journey will take us from the fantastic world of the future to the breathtaking beauty of nature's own design, the Grand Canyon. For your safety, stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. Watch your children and no flash photography.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños. Por favor, no tome fotografías con flash.
The Grand Canyon as we know it today. But it wasn't always this way. Now, let's travel back in time, way back in time, to the fantastic past of the primeval world, land of the dinosaurs. We're now returning to our own time and to Main Steet Station, gateway to Disneyland. If you're leaving us here, stay in your seat until we come to a full stop. Remember to gather all your personal belongings and step carefully from the train. I'd especially like to thank those of you who've been with me for the Grand Circle Tour of Disneyland. We hope you enjoyed your trip.
Folks, please remain seated until the train comes to a point. Please stop. This is Main Steet Station.
Those of you staying with us, we'll be on our way again in just a few minutes. This is Main Steet Station, Main Steet USA. Before returning to Main Steet Station, as we begin our journey, remember that for a safe trip, you need to stay seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your children.
Bienvenidos a bordo del Disneyland Railroad. Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
Our first stop is New Orleans Square Station. But to get there, we need to pass through the wilds of Adventureland. It may seem peaceful through here, but trust me, it's a real jungle out there, literally. So be on the lookout. You just never know what might be lurking along the rails.
No, my friend just got back. Her husband just got back.
Just ahead is New Orleans Square Station. This station also serves Frontierland and Critter Country. If you'll be leaving us here, please remain seated until the train comes to a complete stop. Then watch your step.
Indeed, we are approaching New Orleans Square Station, your stop for the world famous Jungle Cruise, Indiana Jones Adventure, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, Splash Mountain, the many adventures of Winnie the Pooh, and the Haunted Mansion. Unfortunately, Pirates is closed. All of our pirate friends went out to the high seas in search of treasure, rafts, and fast passes. We did get a message via Sparrow. They said they'll be back on June 8th, which is this Friday. Thank you. Remain seated, please. The train's in motion. Remain seated.
Sun came out.
I
No!
know. It was so great for a while.
It was all morning. I'm glad it's I go home exactly 1 hour.
Oh,
There's
you're
2
all
more
set.
trips and I'm good.
And you're in the shack.
For now, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we were loving that.
Right? It's like who was that? The news weather girl I listened to late last night. 10 o'clock news, whatever time 11. She's like, it's the air conditioning of Los Angeles. That overcast. It feels wonderful. It all morning. It's beautiful.
To
Yeah.
those just joining us, welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. To ensure a safe ride, stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your kids.
Having fun yourself?
Para su seguridad,
All right, Minnie Mouse.
permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
We're now entering Splash Mountain, rumored to be the location of the one and only Laugh-In Place. If you look real hard, you just might find it. It's where the critters are celebrating a zippity-doo-dah day. Speaking of critters, this place we're passing over is home to a whole bunch of them. Here in Critter Country, you can join Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, Brer Rabbit, and Brer Bear on their fun-filled adventures. As we steam past Hungry Bear Restaurant, the last outpost in these parts, we're now joining up with the rivers of America and entering the frontier as it looked more than a century and a half ago. This is my favorite part of the journey. Around every bend, there's natural beauty as far as the eye can see. People like you have been riding these rails since the 1800s, traveling through nature's wonderland in a matter of days, rather than the months it used to take by mule or stagecoach. Steam power not only fueled these iron horses, but the dreams of a whole new generation as it moved west into this great frontier. Of course, some of those dreams and the stories that went with them were pretty darn wild and downright unbelievable, like on Big Thunder Mountain, where I hear that mysterious spirits have grabbed hold of those mining trains and turned them into the wildest ride in the wilderness. transition from the frontier to another kind of ear, the ones you'll find on Mickey and Minnie Mouse. Our next stop is Tunetown Depot, official train station for Mickey's Toontown, a cartoon home where Mickey, Minnie, and all their friends live. Tunetown Depot is also the gateway to Fantasyland, where you'll find many of your favorite Disney animated characters.
And we are coming into Mickey's Toontown Train. You know that's your stop for Mickey's Toontown and Fantasyland on its offering. As a reminder, Mickey's Toontown does close early tonight, about 8 p.m. And it will not open again until tomorrow morning. That's them to prepare for the 9:30 party.
¿Qué tal, amigos? Y bienvenidos a bordo. Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
As we leave Toontown Depot, we get a real nice view of the happiest land of them all, Fantasyland. You can see people stepping onto It's a Small World just below us. And, off in the distance, majestic Matterhorn Mountain.
I love that.
We're now steaming forward into the future to a land inspired by visions of tomorrow, both practical and imagined. Here you'll find rocket ships and star speeders, submarines and astroblasters, and, if we look overhead, maybe a glimpse of a Mark 7 monorail. This is the latest version of the first daily operating monorail system in the entire Western Hemisphere, gliding above Disneyland since 1959. Below the monorail, and us, are the fun-filled roadways of the Autopia. Drivers of all ages can get behind the wheel of these cars. No experience or license required. If you're into soaring spaceships or doing battle with evil empires and emperors, Tomorrowland is definitely the place for you. Speaking of which, we're pulling into Tomorrowland Station right now. If you're leaving us here, just stay seated until we come to a full stop. Gather your belongings, including lightsabers and astroblasters, and step carefully from the train. Thanks, and
Make sure all children are sitting down, please, on your lap or on the bench. Thank
We'll be on our
you.
way again in just a minute.
And see, we're coming into tomorrow in a few hours. Okay, second to the last one, I promise. Tomorrowland Station is here. As always, remain seated till the train makes a full stop, completely inside. If you're leaving us here, well, then you enjoy tomorrow, today. Okay, that was the last one.